Hello and welcome to Beyond Doubt Unleashing Confidence. I'm Nefe Oguntoye, your host and dedicated life coach. My mission is simple. I help women like you overcome self-doubt, reclaim your sense of worth, and unlock the confidence to live a life aligned with your purpose. You can learn more about my coaching programs, which are tailored specifically to your needs, at nefewellness.com. I'd love for you to join me on that journey. Today's episode is one that touches every one of us: time management. How often have you felt overwhelmed by endless lists of things you needed to do? Whether it's managing your career, taking care of your family, working on your goals, or even making time for yourself, time seems to just slip away. But what if I told you there's a way to reclaim control over your day, to feel more productive, and to create a life you truly desire? That's exactly what we'll discuss today. Practical, effective time management strategies for busy women. By the end of this episode, I want you to walk away with a set of tools you can use to organize your time, prioritize your tasks, and focus on what truly matters. So, let's get started. Part 1. Why time management is essential for women. Let's start by understanding why time management is so crucial, especially for women. As women, we're often expected to wear multiple hats, whether it's being a professional, a partner, a mother, a daughter, a friend, or all of the above. And in the process of fulfilling these roles, we often put ourselves at the bottom of the list. Here's the thing: without effective time management, it's easy to get caught up in a day-to-day hustle without ever feeling like we're moving forward. We might find ourselves exhausted, burnt out, or even resentful because we've been so focused on meeting everyone else's needs that we've neglected our own. I love this quote from Jim Rohn: "Either you run the day or the day runs you." How often have you felt like your day was running you rather than you being in control of your day? That is why time management is so vital. It's the difference between being reactive and being proactive. Instead of constantly putting out fires, you get to decide what you spend your time on. And when you manage your time effectively, you create a space for things that truly matter: your personal goals, your relationships, and yes, even time for yourself. I want to share the story of Arianna Huffington, founder of the Huffington Post and a powerful advocate for women's well-being. Arianna once shared how, in the early days of building her business, she was caught up in the culture of overworking and hustling. She pushed herself so hard that she collapsed from exhaustion, hitting her head on the desk and breaking her cheekbone. It was a wake-up call for her, and she realized that success didn't mean driving yourself to burnout. From that moment, she made a commitment to prioritize her health and manage her time better, including getting enough sleep and taking time for self-care. She went on to build her company into a global brand, but she did it by valuing her time and making conscious decisions about how she uses it. Her story is a powerful reminder that time management isn't about being productive. It's about ensuring you have balance in your life. It's about being able to pursue your ambitions without sacrificing your health and well-being. Part 2. Common time management myths and how to overcome them. Now, before we dive into specific strategies, let's clear up some common misconceptions about time management. Many of us have been conditioned to believe certain myths that actually prevent us from managing our time effectively. Let's debunk these myths together. Number 1, or myth 1, I have to do everything myself. Reality: this is probably one of the most common misconceptions that women face, especially in a world where we're often expected to, quote unquote, have it all together. But here's the truth: you don't have to have everything yourself. You don't have to do everything yourself. In fact, trying to do it all is a fast track to burnout. The ability to delegate tasks, whether at work or at home, is one of the most important skills you can develop. Whether it's asking your partner to help with household chores, hiring a babysitter to take care of the kids for a few hours, or delegating work tasks to a colleague, you don't have to do it all. The key is to focus on what truly requires your attention and hand over the rest. Tip: start small. Identify 1 or 2 tasks that you could delegate this week and see how it frees up time for you. Myth 2: the busier I am, the more productive I am. Reality: being busy and being productive are not the same thing. We live in a culture that often glorifies busyness, but constantly being on the go doesn't necessarily mean you're achieving your goals. Productivity is about making progress on the things that matter most. If you're constantly jumping from one task to another without any clear direction, it's likely that you're spreading yourself too thin. Instead, focus on doing fewer things, but doing them better. Tip: at the start of the day, identify the top 3 tasks that will have the biggest impact on your goals. Focus on these first before moving on to anything else. Myth 3: I can multitask my way through life. Reality: we often pride ourselves on being able to juggle multiple tasks at once, whether it's replying to emails while cooking dinner or attending a meeting while organising your to-do list. But research shows that multitasking actually reduces efficiency and increases stress. When you split your attention between multiple tasks, you're less likely to do any of them well. The truth is, our brains work best when we focus on one thing at a time. When you give your full attention to a single task, you complete it faster and to a higher standard. Tip: commit to single tasking for the next week. Choose one task at a time and focus on completing it fully before moving on to the next. Letting go of these myths is the first step to taking back control of your time. Now that we've debunked these, we can move forward with some practical strategies that will help you make the most of your day. Part 3: time management techniques, practical strategies to get the most out of your day. Now, let's get into the strategies. I'm going to share some time management techniques with you that will help you get the most out of your day without feeling like you're constantly running on a treadmill. Number 1, time blocking. This is a method I swear by. Time blocking is when you allocate specific chunks of time in your day to specific tasks. For example, you might block out 9 to 11 a.m. for work, 11 to 12 p.m. for emails, and 1 to 2 p.m. for meetings. You've got to have lunch. By assigning a specific time to each task, you prevent yourself from wasting time or getting distracted. The beauty of time blocking is that it gives you structure and makes your day feel more manageable. Instead of jumping between tasks, you know exactly what you should be working on at any given time. Tip: at the start of your week, spend 15 minutes creating a time block schedule for the next few days. Use this schedule to guide you through your day. Number 2, the Eisenhower Matrix. Named after former US President Dwight D. Eisenhower, this matrix helps you prioritize your tasks based on 2 key factors: urgency and importance. Here's how it works. There are 4 quadrants. Number 1, or first one, is urgent and important. So do these tasks first. They're critical and need to be addressed immediately. Next quadrant is important but not urgent. Schedule these tasks for later. These are often tasks that help you achieve long-term goals but don't need to be done right away. The next quadrant, urgent but not important. Delegate these tasks if possible. They might feel pressing, but they don't contribute to your long-term success. And the last quadrant is not urgent and not important. Eliminate these tasks. They're distractions and don't need your attention. The Eisenhower matrix helps you focus on what truly matters rather than getting bogged down by busy work. Tip: take 5 minutes each day to categorize your tasks using the Eisenhower matrix. You'll be surprised at how much easier it is to prioritize once you have clarity on what's important. Number 3, the Pomodoro Technique. This is a fantastic technique for boosting focus and productivity. The Pomodoro Technique involves breaking your work into 25-minute intervals, called Pomodoros, followed by a 5-minute break. After 4 Pomodoros, you take a longer 15 to 30 minutes break. The science behind this technique is simple. By working in short, focused bursts, you reduce the risk of burnout and increase your ability to concentrate. It's especially helpful if you find yourself easily distracted or struggling to stay focused on long-term tasks. I used this when I was at uni because I used to find it hard, like revising before exams, and I definitely found this very useful. So a tip: set a timer for 25 minutes and commit to working on one task without any distractions. After the timer goes off, take a 5-minute break. Repeat this process until your task is complete. Number 4, the 2-minute rule. This rule is simple but incredibly effective. If a task takes less than 2 minutes to complete, do it immediately. Whether it's replying to an email, tidying up your workspace, or making a quick phone call, getting these small tasks out of the way straight away prevents them from piling up and overwhelming you later. Tip: applying the 2-minute rule throughout your day and watch as small tasks no longer clutter your to-do list. Number 5, batching similar tasks together. Batching is when you group similar tasks together and tackle them all at once. For example, instead of checking emails sporadically throughout the day, set aside a specific time to process all your emails in one go. Same goes for meetings, phone calls, or any other repetitive tasks. Batching saves time because you're not constantly switching between tasks, which can break your focus. By grouping similar activities together, you stay in the same mindset and complete tasks more efficiently. Tip: identify tasks you can batch together and set aside dedicated time to complete them in one go. This might include checking emails, scheduling meetings, or even running errands. Part 4, reflection. Questions to ask yourself about your time. It's time to get reflective. Understanding how you're currently using your time is the first step to improving it. Here are some questions to ask yourself. Number 1, where is my time going? Take an honest look at your day. Are you spending time on activities that align with your goals? Or are you getting distracted by tasks that don't serve you? The goal is to become aware of how you're spending your time so you can make better decisions moving forward. Tip: keep a time log for a week. Write down everything you do, and at the end of the week, review it to see where your time is going. This simple exercise will give you clarity on where you might be wasting time and where you can make adjustments. Number 2, what tasks can I delegate or eliminate? Delegation isn't just for work, it applies to every area of your life. If there's a task at home that someone else can do, or is there a task at home that someone else can do? Could you hire help for a specific task? Similarly, are there tasks on your to-do list that aren't necessary? Tip: make a list of all your current tasks and responsibilities. Next to each task, write down whether it's something you can delegate, eliminate, or if it's truly necessary for you to handle. Number 3, am I being intentional with my time? Intentionality is key when it comes to time management. Are you consciously choosing how you spend your time, or are you letting others dictate your schedule? Being intentional means prioritizing your goals and aligning your time with those goals. Tip: at the start of each week, Write down your top 3 priorities. Keep these priorities in mind as you plan your week and make decisions about how you spend your time. I would just like to say that I'm recording this at late at night, so I feel like I've made a lot of mistakes in this episode, but I'm going to keep them in because I think done is better than perfect. But I would just like to direct you guys to my website, nefewellness.com, because there will be a blog post that this episode is based on, so you can get the full techniques at the episode. Okay? At the blog post. And a link will be in the description. Part 5. Inspiration from fiction. Hermione Granger's time management. Now, let's take a look at a fictional example that can inspire us all. Hermione Granger from the Harry Potter series. Hermione is a perfect example of someone who mastered time management. Remember in Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, where she used a magical device called the Time Turner to attend multiple classes at once? While we don't have access to magical devices to bend time, there's a lot we can learn from Hermione's approach to managing her workload. What made Hermione so successful wasn't the time turner itself, it was her discipline and organisation. Hermione planned her schedule meticulously, prioritised her studies, and stayed focused on her goals. She didn't let distractions get in the way of what she wanted to achieve, and she used her time effectively to maximise her learning. So what's the key takeaway here? The lesson we can learn from Hermione is that while we may not be able to turn back time, we can control how we use the time we have. By being disciplined, organised, and intentional, we can accomplish far more than we ever thought possible. Part 6. Recommended resources for time management. Now that we've covered some powerful time management strategies, I'm going to share some additional resources that you can use to control your time. These books are a great starting point for anyone looking to improve their time management skills. Number 1. Essentialism, The Disciplined Pursuit of Less by Greg McKeown. This book is all about focusing on what truly matters and cutting out everything else. Greg teaches you how to identify the tasks and activities that align with your core values and goals and how to eliminate the rest. It's a fantastic read for anyone looking to simplify their life and focus on what's most important. Number 2, Atomic Habits by James Clear. I recommend this book so much because I actually really do love this book. I feel like our life is a combination of our habits. So just getting the foundations right and having good habits is just key to having a life compounded to greatness. When it comes to time management, it's often the small changes we make in our daily routines that lead to the biggest results. And this book is packed with actionable advice from creating lasting change in how you manage your time and your life. And also, he talks about personas and has Beyonce in it. And anything with Beyonce in it is great. I'm a Beyonce stan. Number 3, The One Thing. The Surprising Truth Behind Extraordinary Results by Gary Keller. This book teaches you how to focus on the one thing that will make the biggest impact in your life. It's about narrowing your focus and dedicating your time and energy to things that matter most, rather than spreading yourself too thin. It's a great resource for anyone struggling with prioritization and being overwhelmed with too many tasks. And remember, I've created resources specifically for you at nefewellness.com/resources. There you'll find affirmation cards, planners, other tools to help you stay organised and empowered as you work towards your goals. So make sure you check it out. Summing up. As we bring today's episode to a close, I do feel like I've thrown a lot at you and I've just been a bit all over the place today, but I want to leave you with one final thought. Time is your most valuable resource. Once it's spent, you can't get it back. So how you choose to spend your time matters. The key to effective time management isn't about squeezing more tasks into your day. It's about being intentional with your time and ensuring that what you do aligns with your goals, your values, and your vision for your life. As Annie Dillard wisely said, how we spend our days is, of course, how we spend our lives. The small decisions you make each day about how you spend your time add up to the life you live. So let's make sure those decisions are aligned with who you want to be and what you want to achieve. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Beyond Doubt Unleashing Confidence. If you found this episode helpful, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who might benefit from these strategies. Visit nefewellness.com for more coaching programs and resources to support your journey to living with confidence and purpose. I'll see you next time when we'll be discussing creating lasting habits for success. Until then, remember, time is yours, take control and use it wisely. Bye.